And hello, this is Jonathan Skinner with ConserviNerd. This is my Walkaway video. I've been wanting to do this for a while. It has been difficult for me because I, as an ex-radical leftist and a born-again libertarian now, have gone through an intense paradigm shift. And it wasn't one thing. I can't point to this, that, this. That's why I changed there. I actually narrowed it down to 13 different things that led to my walkaway experience. And it was a huge transition in my life that I had to go through. It was mentally, physically, and spiritually exhausting. Led through some deep depression, but that kind of happens when, cognitive dissonance finally sinks in and you're realizing for the first time, oh my God, I'm an idiot. So, anyway, the 13 things, I went ahead and made a list. I plan on doing this video. I'm going to give you an overview of those 13 things. And beyond that, I will come back and get into those more intense in a walkaway series. So I hope that y'all stay and look at those videos and watch those as well. So let's get into this. The first reason was my personal experience at Occupy Wall Street. Now, when I showed up at Occupy Wall Street, for those who don't know, I was at Occupy Wall Street. I'm trying to think when the original, but it was sometime 2010 and then 2012. I mean, I full-time occupied. I was either at an Occupy encampment, rainbow gathering, or protest. And I regret not having a camera for all those times, but I did get into a lot of trouble and made myself a great bed of shit to lay in for later on. So, and that's where we are. We all learn, we all grow. So, I will tell you that I didn't show up at Occupy Wall Street as a radical. It happened over time. After a couple of events, you get a few arrests, you get a few damn near riot scenarios, and the police were really, really hard on Occupy. Like, I watch what they do with Antifa today, and I'm blown away. It's like, dude, if I did half of that shit, they would have been beating us down. Man, we would just sit down, in protest, in a peaceful protest, and we'd get our ass beat. And so I don't know what's going on with that, why they get the golden ticket to commit crimes and violence, and non-peaceful protesters, get the boot on the face. But, that's what it is. And that definitely has an effect on my paradigm shift as well. I did campaign for Obama first time round. Second time round, I was kind of in the thick of it. I'd seen a few things from Obama his first term I didn't like, but overall I was still kind of there. It wasn't until the second term that I really saw the teeth come out. Indefinite detentions without trial for American citizens, Citizens United. And I will tell you, the one news event that really just hit me hard was, we were drone bombing over in Syria, and they actually hit that school. I mean, and the whole idea of a drone warfare, like Terminator style, that you got, you're just blowing up people. You don't know who you're blowing up. You're just murdering people without conscience. And, we don't know who's in these buildings. And that whole, destroying countries. Like, I hated when Bush did it, I was against Bush doing it. And of course I'm against Obama doing it. I'm against anyone who just wants to murder people in mass, in genocide. It's freaking terrible. Absolutely terrible. So anyway, I remember after that school, that the news came out on the school getting hit by a drone. I was furious. I was upset. So many feelings were coming up, and I was just so tired of us being a nation of slaughtering people. I never thought that that's what America was about, and I still don't think that's what America was about. But the fact that I was so upset, and I'd put it out on social media, and people would come back attacking me for being critical of Obama when I helped campaign for the dude. It's like, you're attacking, like calling me names and stuff because I care about children getting hit with bombs. That definitely started some wheels turning. Like, why don't these people care about murdered children? And I find it absolutely ridiculous that we've been talking about these children at the immigration centers, which has been happening for years, and they're like, "This is the hill we die on." I heard Chuck Schumer say, or no, I think it's Maxine Waters say that this is the hill we die on, and so you don't care about blowing up children while they're attending school, but you do care about, kids literally getting, going into a detention center that has bunk beds, art time, TV, video games. They take these kids out on field trips during the day so they can see America while they're here. Like, it sounds like summer camp. But these kids are getting slaughtered, and no one gave a fuck. And that really let me see where people's heads were at. Bundy Ranch was a huge, at that time Black Lives Matter was going on. I was posting all the stuff up, all my friends were telling me, we need more white people to come out and support Black Lives Matter. And I went to it. I was like, you know what? Black lives do matter. I definitely saw post-Patriot Act the militarization of the police as a bad thing for society. It was something that I watched and I had commented on it. So when Black Lives Matter came around, I was like, look, this is what happens when we militarize the police. This is why we don't need a militarized police force. And I was all about that. I was all over like the demilitarization of the police. And then I saw the scene at the Bundy Ranch where they were talking to the family and the police officer tased Grandma Bundy. Like, well, they're just having a conversation and the police officer tased like a 90-year-old woman and she fell to the ground. And I was furious, just as furious as I was with all these Black Lives Matter, videos of the police. It was like, oh, I'm angry. I went to social media, start typing. And everyone's laughing about it, like ha ha ha, like stupid dumb bitch just got tased. And I'm like, wait a minute, this is an abuse of power. Like Grandma Bundy wasn't accused of a crime. She was just telling her not to mess with her sons, and she got tased. But it was a joke, and everyone laughed about it. And that was really me coming out in support of Bundy Ranch. That's when the liberals really got their eye on me, even though I'm sitting here posting all this Black Lives Matter, all this, Occupy, all this liberal propaganda. All of a sudden, I'm the problem because I'm against these people getting screwed, but it's okay for these people over here to be screwed, and I'm the asshole who's sticking up for the people they feel deserve to be screwed, and they didn't. And so that was definitely a huge wake-up call. Black Lives Matter, I was completely for it. I understood the militarization of the police. It was something. I went to a march in South Dallas, and I wanted to talk about the militarization of the police and the Patriot Act and the things that led to what was going on with Black Lives Matter. And I got chased out of the event. I got called a white savior. I was told, go back to the suburbs. And, I'm like, dude, y'all are, everyone online, stick up for Black Lives Matter, stick up for Black Lives Matter. I'm here sticking up for you guys. And you chased me out. And you told me to go home and I wasn't welcome and my opinions, don't matter and blah, blah, blah. And I was told it's not about me. That's about them. That even though white people are getting killed by police and Asian people and Spanish people, like everyone is getting killed because we're militarized a police force, my personal opinion didn't matter. And I was told to go home. And I really felt shitty that day. That was definitely one of those, I felt like I'd been a useful idiot. Like, here I've been sticking up. You're telling me, my friends online telling me I need to stick up for Black Lives Matter. I do it and I get shamed for it. I was shamed and humiliated for giving a fuck. And that definitely, and then we had the instance of the shooting in Dallas, and that's when the cognitive dissonance concerning BLM really hit me hard. Like, people don't need to be murdered, ever. I'm all about nonviolent protest when it's unjust. Never, ever, ever about any form of violence. So, Moving on. About that time in my life is when people I've been friends with for a long time who had also gotten radicalized started turning against me on simple things. I mean, I can give one example. I was going out with my friends in a car, and the girl I was dating at the time, and the girl I was dating told me that I need to be careful what I say tonight when we are at this gathering because I am a white cisgender male and my words could be offensive. And I was like, well, we hang out all the time. Like, you're my girlfriend. Like, do I usually say offensive things when I'm around you? She's like, you just need to be careful. And I looked at her and I told her that's the most racist, sexist thing anyone's ever told to me. But she was being completely serious. And, on other friends, I've just had some arguments with people and they would devolve to yelling, you are a white cisgender male. That just, shoot, you call me cracker all day. I don't care. White cisgender male, I don't know, it's kind of annoying just because it's so racist, but it still doesn't mess with me. The one that really gets me is if you call me a Nazi, because I will punch you in your face. My grandfather killed so many Nazis, and he was there on D-Day invasion, survived. Two Purple Hearts. Fuck off. So then we're gonna get into the real stuff. That was all the stuff that was kind of like leading to cognitive dissonance. Seeing Comey come on TV, give a laundry list of reasons why Hillary Clinton needs to be in jail, and then pardoning her afterwards, I was furious. That affluenza, we could all admit that Brock Turner is a douchebag and did not get what he deserved because of affluenza. But then people stick up for the affluenza of the Clintons. Like all of a sudden, you've got a criminal who committed crimes and you're not charging them. And if you don't agree that this person needs to be charged, you're racist, you're a Nazi, you're this, you're that. How can these horrible people want to punish a criminal who committed a crime that people are serving time for? It was absolutely ridiculous. I think from then on, it was just really like something is sick in society. Like people don't know what's really going on. They don't know what's happening. Um, the next is Standing Rock. Standing Rock, I'd have to make a whole video on. I was, a part of Dallas Stands with Standing Rock. I was helping to get supplies to protesters. I was helping out. I was going to the protest in downtown Dallas. I was, helping to organize. And at the end of Standing Rock, now I do need to do some more research, but I can tell you what I saw with my own two eyes. Everyone built up, everyone around the country, money flowing in, people buying yurts, people buying tents, war heaters, water, like everything that they needed was provided by all of these people. I got upset that Obama didn't do anything to stop it. Like he could have stepped in and done something. He didn't do anything. But as soon as the election was over, something happened and all the natives went home and left all the protesters there. And a lot of the stuff was taken from the camp, but they decided that it would be a good idea to burn the camp to the ground ceremonially to represent their defeat, which I didn't see a defeat. I saw a give up. I saw we just quit. It meant something yesterday. It doesn't mean anything today. Why doesn't it mean anything today? Just because a Democrat didn't get elected? Like that doesn't. I have to say I feel like there are some backroom deals that were made that caused the tribes to just go home. But then they left all the other protesters there, and I don't know the situation on why they stayed behind. I'm sure they chose to stay behind. They probably had a choice to leave. But I believe it was a Unicorn Riot video I was watching of when the police finally moved in to finish up the camp. And all I saw was like white people and black people getting arrested and beaten. I didn't see one native person there. And the fact that we raised millions of dollars to get supplies and they just burnt the supplies that we sent, like I spent my money money on it. I personally gave money to the protesters. I knew people there. I wanted them to be safe. I wanted them to be okay. And I was sending money and, helping other people to get their supplies to the protesters. And it was just all burnt. And then it was just left for, and the people who were left got mishandled, beaten, and treated like shit. And I just thought, oh my God, this is absolutely terrible. Like, I still need to learn more about what happened there. I will admit, all I know is what I saw with my own eyes via live streams and, via talking to other people within the movement. But I think after that, I definitely, that was a hard red pill right there. I felt like I was a fool to send money to people who were just going to burn it. All right, the rise of Antifa. Now, a lot of my friends from Occupy are now Antifa. Like a lot of people I knew, like a lot of people in my personal life. I knew tons of people in my personal life who either became Antifa or are still support Antifa. And I'm sitting here watching, oh my God, these violent Trump supporters, look what they did. And I go and watch the live feeds. So I started watching live feeds. I'm big on live feeds. Periscope, check it out. Great service that they do. Anyway, I go and watch live feeds and I see people attacking people, just normal people like women, old women, children, young women. It's like funny. It's like they're afraid of the men, so they attack the women. And the more Antifa videos I watched, the more disgusted I became. And that was, for me, was really when I realized I was an idiot and I had been a useful idiot. And because what I had been a part of became this nasty, evil thing that would just use violence on anyone, as like they dehumanize their opposition so that they can do anything and feel justified. And that was a big one for me. The next is going to be hardcore, is the WikiLeaks. I read them. I stayed up at night. I dove through. I went through everything. Say what you will about Pizzagate. I think Pizzagate was a red herring to people go over off in this area, but the fact is Hillary Clinton, Podesta, neither of them ever said. They said that they got hacked and they said that the emails were real. They never denied that the emails were real. And I still don't have an answer on what the fuck's going on these emails. They're cheating Hillary, giving her the, the questions before the debates. It's just intense. There's a lot of information in there that I have questions about, and I definitely found that there was a lot. And the fact that the media told it is illegal is like, it's not illegal to look at this, but the media is lying to cover it up. And then they went hardcore on Pizzagate, even though there's still some questionable stuff in there. And I have got a lot of questions about James Alisfontis and his Instagram and how he's the most powerful man in Washington, or second most powerful. Like I do have questions about this, but the fact is after that actor went into a pizza place and supposedly shot. I've listened to interviews with people who were there who said no shots were fired. So I don't know who to believe. They said there were no shots fired. It was like a day later they came back and said the guy shot up a pizza place. It's like the day of, they're like, a man's arrested for the gun. The next day, oh, he's shot. Well, the people who were there never heard gunfire. So I don't know what to tell you about that. I just saw the lies, and I saw the cover up, and that really started sinking in. I still didn't like Trump up until this time. The first moment where Trump got me was that second debate, man. I saw a bunch of jackals descending upon this dude who didn't give a fuck. They were just treating him like he was some yo-yo off the street, and some crackhead who had nothing to do. He's not important. He's literally up for president of the United States, and you're not even giving him the time of day to talk. So that was definitely I actually kind of respected Trump a little bit after that debate. And that definitely started some wait a minute questions. I actually went after that second debate, started reading what he was wanting to do. And damn, I agreed with some of it. I'll tell you the one thing that blew my mind. I wanted money out of politics, term limits on Congress. Brilliant. Like, it's so simple. I would have never thought of it. And not a lot of people did, but the term limits on Congress, let's get that done. Like, let's get that done tomorrow. Like money out of politics. You can't spend billions of dollars every 4 years. They're not. The companies aren't going to do it. They can't buy politicians if the politicians don't stay in power forever. Plus, we get new blood in, and that would be really nice. New blood in the government, getting young blood, getting young people, involved in politics. Let's do it. Let's do term limits, definitely. Oh, and yeah, this last one, I'm going to have to do more research on before I bring it up. I'll make a video on it, probably on its own. But it was some of the stuff that went down after the election, just all the riots and the people upset. One in particular, which I don't have a source on. The source that I have is from a dear friend of mine who I occupied with, who from North Carolina, and there was that forest fire right after the election, hit 4 states and just burned. And he was telling me his local news was talking about it the night of the election, where there was a community up on a hill, and the Antifa were out there lighting, get soaking logs with gas and then just lighting them on fire and tossing them because they were going to burn all the rich people out of the fucking hills. And I've seen the video of the people trying to escape their homes, and one of them, they're driving down a big mountain, with like fire all around them, and a tree falls in front of them and they have to get out of the car and move a burning tree so they can escape. And I cannot find any media source on this. I asked him to send me some, but it was just, he heard it on the news. He talked to people in the town where it happened, and that same fire went to go burn 4 states down. So, that could be, if you've got any information on that might be wrong, I'm glad to hear it, set it up. But, it's just hearing things like that people are so upset and angry that they are willing to hurt others indiscriminately. And then I see it today. I see what's going on, attack conservatives, you're seeing, now the second civil war or whatever. And it's like liberals laugh about that. They're like, ha ha ha, y'all think it's a civil war. We're being attacked. We're being attacked online. We're being attacked. I can't even go out. I have no friends, man. I have a handful of friends, but because I decided to leave a party that lied and cheated, I've had to change my whole life. And you know what? My life is so much better. I'd never go back. Never go back to what it was, being surrounded by liars, cheaters, and people who don't even know what they're talking about, but act like they know everything. I'm so good. I'm okay on all that. So anyway, that's my Walkaway video. I will be posting some more later, and hope y'all enjoy this. Hope y'all stick with me. Really hope to make ConserviNerd a thing. I am going to another protest next month. Hopefully something good will pop up before then. But until then, I'll see you soon. I'll see you on my next Walkaway video. You guys have a great day. Thanks for listening.